What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of AKP Sports Talk. That's our in Korea. Happy Friday, everyone. Obviously, it is April 19th, obviously tomorrow, very special day for some people. But obviously, we're going to have our best picks for today. But obviously, we did have some baseball games, even though one of them got rained out, of course. We already know. Let's do a quick recap of how we did yesterday. First, starting with myself, Marlins Cubs got rained out, so can't really call it a win or a loss, so whatever. But Giants on the money line, obviously, that was our big winner yesterday. I was all over the Giants, especially with Logan Webb at home, and they got out to they won 5-0. I knew it was going to be a great day for Logan Webb on the mound. Obviously, he shoved it home, especially against this Diamondbacks lineup, who he has great splits against. That was a great win for me. Obviously, I got it at minus 160. I was also giving out the Giants' first five minus half a run. Or I know you were on that play, and I was checking the score. I saw more of the runs come in the latter half, but did they get out to a big enough lead for you? How'd they do yesterday?
Yeah, it was 1-0, which is all that they needed. 1 day for me. That was the one winner. 1-0, so a little bit sweaty, but Logan Webb was pretty much dealing. At one point, he retired, I think, like 18 in a row. So even though they're only up 1-0 after three, like in the fourth and fifth innings, he still felt, pretty confident that it was one of them was going to be enough until he looked through the first three innings. So that was one win. Nerfy lost 1-2-3, top of the first, bottom of the first. Leadoff walk, which is, never good for a Nerfy. And then Duran still second. And then I think it was Casas hit a slow ground ball down the first baseline that the first baseman was going to, I think it was Naylor at first base. I think he was going to field. And the ball hits the first base bag, jumps up in the air. And so he's safe at first. And so then that made it first and third, nobody out. So it's like, even if he fielded it, it would have been Duran on third with one out. So, maybe he still scores, but, one out, run on third, you at least have a chance for a strikeout or a pop up versus first, third, nobody out is like, basically like 1% chance. So that was a tough one there. But like you said, Giants first five cashed a 1-1 day for me.
Yeah, I was checking the score of that Giants game, and I did see they get out to, I think it was like a 1-0 ball game after five. So obviously, first five minus half a run cashes for you. I was giving that out as a separate play, so cash is somewhat for me as well. So you know what? We're going to have I think it was a 2-1 day, obviously, with the Marlins and Cubs postponing. So, that was a tough one. But obviously, you mentioned, what could have gone wrong, went wrong in that Guardians, Red Sox, Nerfy. And obviously the Giants, Logan Webb, as you mentioned, I think he retired 18 straight in a row. So, he was wheeling and dealing yesterday. So that was obviously two great winners for us with the Giants yesterday. But obviously today, big Friday. Obviously, we do have the final playing games for the NBA tonight with the 8 and 9 matchups. But it's like we all know who's probably going to win both of those games. And then we also have a bunch of MLB today. Here are my four picks. First, we're going to go to the game of the night, and I'm taking the Dodgers' first five team total over 2.5 runs. I got that about minus 115. I'm just targeting the Dodgers here through the first five because they love hitting Sean Manaea. And Sean Manaea is pitching tonight. He has horrible numbers on the road at Dodger Stadium from his time as a member of the San Francisco Giants last year. The Dodgers love to hit him. I'm targeting the Dodgers' first five. There is some value to take him, with the minus half a run, but I don't want to have to back Yamamoto with his inconsistencies all season. But I'm targeting the Dodgers first here with the first five team total here minus 2.5. I think they score some runs early here. Obviously, especially after they got shut out. I think it was the previous day by the Washington Nationals out of all the teams. Shut them out at home on a day game. So that their bats are hungry, and I expect the Dodgers, who love hitting Sean Manaea well, I expect them to hit the ball early. I'm just targeting the first five team total here. I expect 3 runs for the Dodgers through the first 5 innings. So that's my bet there, minus 115. And then we're going to another game. I know Korea, another game where weather is going to be impacting. I know, but I love this over just because of the fact that the two pitchers on the mound. I'm taking the Mariners and Rockies game over 10.5. I got that around minus 105. But obviously there is some precaution. There is some expected wind, rain, snow, a bunch of bad weather in Colorado, winter weather in Colorado in April. So, there is a chance that this game could be postponed to another day. So, keep that in the back of your brain for this one. But I do like this over here. First, we're going to look at the Colorado Rockies side. And, their bullpen has had problems all season. And then Dakota Hudson on the mound. I don't really expect him to really have a great day. I've seen his player prop numbers. I think his K prop is at 3.5 on plus money. So a lot of significant juice on the under, which means he's probably going to get rocked early. And then on the other side, it's Emerson Hancock for the Mariners. And obviously, he's had a little bit of inconsistency and struggle to start this season. And I expect the Rockies to kind of maybe, take advantage of that against a struggling rookie, still trying to figure out his form in Major League Baseball. And then obviously, we talk about the bullpen for the Rockies kind of playing a huge factor with their inconsistencies as well. So I like this game over 10.5. If this game happens, obviously, there is the looming weather forecast of snow and rain tonight, so that could play a huge impact on this game. So other than that, I do like this over at 10.5 here. I got that around minus 105. And then if I also have some backup plays, as you can see, in case the Mariners Rockies does not go. I have two games in the same play. First, we're going to talk about the first 5 plus half a run at minus 130 for the White Sox. I'm also sprinkling a money line at plus 120 here. Here's why I'm all over the White Sox in this game. First, look at the pitching matchup. The White Sox have Garrett Crochet on the mound. He is the only bright spot for this White Sox team right now. He has, I believe, like a .087 batting average against the lefties. And obviously, we know how many lefties the Phillies love to stack in their lineup. And obviously, we have to back the White Sox. And I know we hate backing the White Sox and their abysmal lineup. That's why I'm more heavy on the plus half a run. I think they make this game maybe like a 0-0 ball game, hopefully a tie through like the first 5 innings, maybe 1-1, 0-0, whatever the case is. But I would prefer if the White Sox do get the win through the first 5 at plus 120. I'm sprinkling a little bit on there. I really do think that the White Sox could potentially get some numbers up against Spencer Turnbull for this Philadelphia Phillies team today. The thing about the Phillies is that, if they rock him early, the bullpen for the Phillies has not been consistent either. So, there is some leeway with the fact that even though it is Spencer Turnbull who has some good numbers against this White Sox team, the fact that the Phillies bullpen could come in early and, could cause some havoc for this, for them at home. So I'm taking the White Sox here. I more strongly am plus half a run. I think it's going to be a really close game between these two teams. Obviously, two good pitchers. I know that I think the unders are like 7.5 right now with a lot of juice. So I think the books are expecting a really low scoring game. So I think the White Sox, with their abysmal offense, along with Garrett Crochet on the mound, I think they make this a close game through 5 innings. And the only reason I'm taking through 5 is because the bullpens for both teams are absolutely crazy. So I'm not taking anything full game here. I just like the first 5 only. I'm taking the White Sox first 5 plus half a run, and then as well sprinkling the White Sox first 5 money line at plus 120. Those are my 4-ish plays today. Obviously, the one kind of question mark is the Mariners and Rockies. We still don't know if that game is going to be officially played. Right now, there are clear signs for it to play, but obviously weather forecasts could be coming in any second, and that could change up the factor. So we'll obviously, take that one with a grain of salt. Don't put your life savings on the Mariners and Rockies today. Just maybe half a unit if that game does. And obviously, if it does get postponed, you get your money back. So obviously, that's not too no harm, no foul there. But obviously, those are my 4 picks today. Ari, what have you cooked up for this Friday today? Ari, I think you're muted.
2 first 5 plays for me in the MLB tonight. Brewers. I was originally on the Brewers full game money line, but then I kind of looked more into it. I think that their bullpen's in a bit of a tough spot. In the games in St. Louis, Cardinals are bullpen's more rested. Just backing Freddie Peralta here in the Brewers in the first 5. And so really both plays are just backing the pitchers. Joe Ryan for the Twins against the Tigers, against Flaherty, and then Peralta against Kyle Gibson. So mostly just backing those 2 starting pitchers, which is partially why I'm just going first 5 for both of these games. Brewers first have money line, and Twins to have less juice, -0.5 in the first 5, like we did with the Giants last night. And then the 2 NBA games, I don't have an official play on either of them. I was originally leaning towards, the Kings with Zion out, but then the line flipped towards the Pelicans this morning, I saw. Obviously Zion's out, but I mean, Ingram and McCollum, they were terrible in the first play-in game, but obviously both of them could turn on the switch. And we've talked a lot about how the Kings, have just been inconsistent, I guess, for lack of a better term, just, games that you think that they're going to win all season, they lose against bad teams and vice versa. And then the Heat game, the Heat are a small favorite without Jimmy Butler at home. I assume it's because they're at home. Bulls are mostly healthy. I think Caruso's supposed to play. So I think they should be mostly healthy based on who played in their first game and their win over the Hawks. So I kind of lean towards the under in that game. Just I'm sure the Heat are probably gonna double DeRozan every game, and Kobe White dropped 40 in their win over Atlanta. I don't know if he's gonna do that again. So I kind of lean towards the under in that game, and then I still lean towards the Kings, but I'm not probably going to stay off both of them and just I think that both of them should be, come down to the wire. It should be fun to watch, but probably going to stay off them. But just wanted to, touch on them, obviously, because they are big games tonight.
Yeah, obviously, first with the Brewers and Twins, obviously, for the first 5. You taking the Brewers, obviously, I like that play for you as well. With these two teams really knowing each other, obviously the Brewers and Cardinals, obviously division rivals. Freddie Peralta, he knows that lineup. The lineup knows Freddie Peralta, but the more of the question is Kyle Gibson on the other side for the Cardinals, and I don't think he has the great numbers as well. So I support that Brewers first 5 money line, just taking the better team with a better offense through first 5 as well to minus 130, and then as well with the Twins first 5 minus half a run. You mentioned Joe Ryan on the mound at home. What are the better pitchers for this Twins team at home? You mentioned, I think it was Flaherty on the mound for the Tigers today. He has had a lot of inconsistencies this year since they signed him, but I do think, the Twins at home, better offense. I think they get out to a first 5 run lead, probably, hopefully by 1 to catch that for you at minus 105. And then as well as you mentioned, a couple playing games today. I don't really have anything either. It's so weird because, both of these lines are so close, but, there's significant injuries that are saying that it's the other way. Obviously, you mentioned with Zion Williamson out for the Pelicans tonight, obviously you would think the Kings or lean the Kings way, but, the line's going the other ways, or, it's flip-flop. So, it's, who knows what happens there. And then obviously you mentioned with the Bulls and Heat, obviously no Jimmy Butler. We found out he's going to be out for a very long time if they do make it past this game. I even saw that the Miami Heat have like a scheduled flight to Boston like tomorrow, and I was like, I don't know why you're scheduling flights when you still got to play one team, who is healthy, obviously, or healthier. Obviously, you mentioned Caruso potentially not the question mark there, but I definitely agree with you there. Maybe targeting that under in the Bulls Heat game. Obviously, this is quite funny. This is a rematch of last year's. I think it was like 7-8, or I think it was the 7-8 game, or was the 8-9 matchup in Miami between the Bulls and the Heat, obviously, and that started the Miami Heat's legacy run all the way to the finals that year, which was an absolute insanity. But it's kind of funny that deja vu, here we go again. One of these teams gets to play the Celtics in the first round. But I agree with you there, just staying off of those 2 plays. But that's Ari's full card. Going back to mine just for a quick second, the Mariners and Rockies. That is the one game in question. We don't know if that game's going to happen yet, with some impending bad weather. So keep that one in the back pocket. But my other 2, with the Dodgers first 5 team total, and then the White Sox to cover the first 5 plus half a run, and sprinkling on the money line at plus 120. I think the White Sox are getting out to a first 5 run lead potentially. Those are my best bets, Ari's best bets. You can find all of these plays on our Twitter below, AKP Sports Talk. That is where our full card along with our video will be posted, and you can find all of our plays there. But that is going to do it for this episode of AKP Sports Talk. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We will be back on Monday, obviously, to recap how we did today, and obviously previewing how we are doing, in terms of the future. And obviously, we had some NBA games starting this weekend, obviously, with the first round commencing officially tomorrow. So we're gonna potentially have some best bets, as the week goes on. Some of these weekday, series games, where they're gonna be low scoring. Who knows? But we will have all of our best bets and more coming up soon. But thank you guys so much for tuning in this week. That's Ari. I'm Korea. Have a great weekend. We will see you on Monday.